At the beginning of the episode we see that Hyang also gets the message in which Jojo and Sonu are kissing. Seeing this, he gets shocked and runs away on his bicycle. On the other hand, Kim takes Jojo's hand and brings him out of the school and asks him, "Were you there? Now the whole school knows about our secret." Sunu says, "What do you want to say?" Jojo shows her like this and says, "You sent it to everyone." Sunu says, "You think that?" Jojo says, "Then who did it?" Sunu says, "Who cares? This is true. We kissed." Young comes running to the school and sees Sunu was taking Jojo inside. He also goes behind them. Both were facing each other. Sunu turns on his love alarm. Hung also turns on his love alarm. Then he listens to the message, and it was written in Jojo's name. Seeing this, Hyang stops. Sunu says, "Tell me your alarm." Then he sees Yang. Young goes out. Sunu goes behind him and says, "I was not going to do this to you." Young says, "No one, you don't need to explain. Jojo rang your love alarm." Sunu says, "So nothing happened to you?" Young says, "We told you we will trust the love alarm and give Jojo a choice," and he goes there. Now Jojo comes to the class and says to Yago, "Are you angry with me because of you?" She says, "You are shameless. Ilsik gave him training today because of you." Jojo says, "Why are you worried about Ilsik? You are my friend." Yago says, "You gave us our friendship." Jojo says, "You are crazy. I did not tell you about Ilsik, so I was going to tell you." Yago shouts loudly and says, "Is this the only thing you did not tell me the day Ilsik was looking for you? The day you kissed Suinhu, I also went to your academy because I was not able to find you. Arrow, you haven't even taken admission there. You said we are friends, then why did you lie to me?" That Jojo starts crying. Young was in school when he gets a message from his love alarm Arrow. Now everyone was eating in the canteen when Sunhu comes there. He goes to Gulmi and dials her number and gives it to her. Gulmi gets happy, then Sun, who says, "Kim, I want Jojo's number." Now Jojo was eating in the ground when she gets a message from Sunhu. "Where are you? Aren't you in the cafeteria?" Jojo sees this and goes to wash her hands, then Sunhu comes from behind and says, "Why didn't you reply to the text?" Jojo says, "Who gave you the number?" Sunhu comes close and asks, "How long will you run away from me?" Jojo says, "Don't come close to me, maybe I am smelling like sweat." Sunhu says, "I don't care," and gets very close to her. Jojo pushes him and runs away from there. Sunhu laughs and says how cute she is. Jojo, who is going home, sets off her love alarm. Then she asks Ziona, "Where is Yago?" She says, "She is your best friend, right? Why are you asking me?" "Well, isn't she here now?" Saying this, she goes there. Now Yago was sitting with ILS when she gets a message from Jojo. She asks, "Where are you?" She says, "What does he have to do with me now?" After doing that with Sunu, Il says, "Why did you do that? It's your fault that the photo got spread in the school." Yago says, "I didn't do it, I just sent it to you." Ilsik says, "Yago says I did that for you." He says, "Why would you do it for me?" Yago says, "Because you are my friend. Jojo became our friend later. We both were friends before." Ilsik says, "We both are not friends now. I should not have downloaded the love alarm," and he goes there. We see that Ilsik's love alarm rang because of Yago that day, not Jojo's, and when she was going home she saw Jojo and Sanu kissing and took their photo. Now Kim Jojo comes down. She sees Sunhu has come with Minj. She takes their order and gives them food. Then she comes out after work and Sunhu was there. He turns on the love alarm in her hand and says, "You also turn it on. I had not seen it before." Jojo leaves. Sunhu also follows her, and in the bus also he sits on the seat behind her and says, "Turn on the love alarm now." Even after getting down from the bus, he was insisting. Jojo asks her to turn on the love alarm. Sanu says, "Do it, or else I will lie down here. I want you to like me too." Jojo takes out her photo and turns on the love alarm, and she also gets a message. Seeing this, both are very happy and laugh looking at each other. Sonu takes her photo and says, "You are very beautiful," and then he takes her hand. While Young was sitting at home, he gets a message from Sunu. He calls him to meet him. Now both of them were sitting together when Sunu runs towards the wall. Hang says that in childhood you could never do anything without my help. Still he sits beside him. We see Sunu lying down in childhood. Young holds his hand and asks, "Are you okay? I will always be by your side." Sunu says, "What does that mean?" Young says, "Means if someone troubles you, I will beat them up and eat with you. When you are sick, I will take care of you." Sunu says, "Do I have to give you my toys in return?" Hyang says, "No, I will not give you anything, just think that I am happy that Hyang is in my life." Sunu says yes, and Hyang wipes his tears. Here Sunu gets accused. Hyang had told her and she is looking at the sky. Now Jojo comes to her room. Gulmi gives her lipstick and says, "Take it, we used to share such things in childhood." When you came to our house for the first time, I liked you a lot. That is why I said that we both will share the same room. Jojo says sorry for the morning. Gulmi says if you are feeling sorry then Sunhu break up like this. Jojo says what Gulmi says I liked him earlier. Jojo says I can't do this. Sorry Gulmi says my dad left because of your family loan. My mom drinks every day and why can't you have one? She holds his hand and says I like him. Please give it to him. Jojo says no and starts leaving. Gulmi says my family is in such trouble because of you. Jojo comes out and sees her aunt sleeping after drinking. She goes to the terrace and starts crying. She remembers how she was very happy with her mom. She also remembers the day when her mom comes home with a lot of cello tapes and she was locking the house. Now she comes to know that because of love alarm so many people are going crazy. Yesterday someone hit someone on the head because his love alarm did not turn on. Now we see Dugu is the person who launched the love alarm. Now Principal Sir tells all the teachers to ban Kavalam in the school. Sir comes and tells this to the children and everyone gets very angry. Jojo gets a message from Sunahu. He had sent her photos of different countries and he says let's go somewhere together and there is another gift for you. Jojo wonders what he must have sent. She sees that Sunhu had sent her photo on her app and laughs. Now Jojo was outside when Dugu starts looking at Gulmi beside her. Jojo asks are you okay? Dugu says how did I even think that she would like me? Jojo says there is nothing wrong in this. Then Jojo gets a message from Sunhu. Sunu says hi to her and Dugu goes there. Now Sunu and they were going together when Sunu suddenly kisses her. Then both of them start leaving hand in hand. Now Jojo comes to the shop. Her auntie hits him and says what did you do to Gulmi? She doesn't want to go to school because of you. I heard you hit her in front of the whole class. Did I hit you so that you can hit her? She said you are with someone and he also gave you this new thing. You are just like your mother. If you want to spoil your life then do it alone. Don't drag Gulmi into it and she pushes him and leaves. At home, Sunhu's mother asks if you have a girlfriend and she shows her wallpaper and says you have never done this before. Sunhu says she is very nice. She shows them Jojo's photo and asks how is she. Her mother says she is young and she goes there. Kim Jojo was working in the store when she gets a message from Sunhu and she sits there and talks to him and after listening to him, Kushi laughs and says thanks to him for loving me. Then she keeps her bag and goes inside. The next day, Sunhu comes to school very happy and starts looking for Jojo. Jojo, who was in the bus, gets a message from Sunhu. Meet me first at school. Hyang was also going to school. On the way, he sees Jojo. He immediately stops his cycle and falls down, so that he does not come in his 10-meter circle and he also gets hurt. Now he comes to school and suddenly he gets a message of love alarm and he starts looking here and there. Then a washroom guy comes out and seeing him he runs back inside. Hyang calls him and says that is why you avoid me. He says will you tell everyone now? Hyang goes ahead and says that these are your feelings and you cannot control them. He goes there. Now Hyang kills him and takes it out and looks at his love alarm. When she was in school, her love alarm rings. She becomes happy. She thinks that Sunhu is there. When she opens the nurse room, Hyang was there. She gets shocked to see this and then her love alarm rings again and she sees Sunhu coming towards her. She gets very surprised to see both of them. And this is where this episode ends. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. See you in episode 4.